Alright, so the first thing that you're going to need to learn for the homework is how to cross-cancel fractions. Alright, so let's look at an example of multiplying a few fractions here. We have so you can see, since we're multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. You know that 5 times 4 is 20, 6 times 4 is 24. So you have 20 over 24 for your final answer, but you can probably tell that that can be reduced already. Turns out both 20 and 24 share a common factor of 4. So if we divide both sides by 4, 20 divided by 4 is 5, 24 divided by 4 is 6. Okay, so there's actually an easier way to do this so that you can avoid this step altogether. You can actually reduce it when it's still in this phase. Alright, and that's by cross-canceling. So the first thing you need to remember is that for multiplication, I forgot what the name of the rule is, but you can change the order. Let's say 6 times 8 is the same thing as 8 times 6. That always works for all multiplication. You can always change the order at any time. So, when we take this, let's take this original problem, same one that we had. Now, instead, even though we know that 5 times 4 is 20 and 4 times 6 is 24, I'm actually going to write them as just 5 times 4 and 4 times 6. It's the same thing. But what we're going to do here is we're going to change the order of, we'll say the bottom. It doesn't matter. Alright, on the top you have 5 times 4, on the bottom you have 6 times 4. Now, the same way that you can combine fractions together when you're multiplying, just like that, make them into one fraction, you can also split them. It's the same thing. This is the same as 5/6 times 4 over 4, right? And you can tell immediately that the 4 over 4 is 1. So you're multiplying by 1. So that doesn't change anything. So your final answer is the 5/6. So if you look back to over here, you can tell that all we did was, since we have a 4 on the top and a 4 on the bottom, right, you know that those are always going to cancel each other out. So you could just write it as and that's why this will always work if you have multiplying fractions. If you have the same number on the top as you have on the bottom, they can cancel each other out. Both of these will go to 1. So 5 times 1 is 5, and 6 times 1 is 6. You can see that's the same answer we got over here and over here. Alright, anytime you're multiplying fractions, anytime it's multiplication, if you have the same number on the numerator as you have on the denominator, you can just cancel them out. Okay? So, alright. So one more trick that you're going to need for this assignment is, alright, I'll show you really fast. There. So again, let's write it as one fraction. I just like it better that way. But we're gonna, I think I'm getting too high there. Okay, so you have 10 times the 3 and 7 times 5 on bottom. Alright, so right now we don't have any of the same numbers on the top as we have on the bottom, but you can always look for common factors in any of the numbers, so you can break the numbers down and simplify it that way. For example, 10 you can write as 5 times 2, right? So keeping the same equation, we're going to bring it down, except write it as 5 times 2 times 3. Alright, we could put these in parentheses to show that that's the 10, but really it doesn't matter which order we multiply them in, so those don't actually need to be in parentheses. 5 times 2 times 3 is the same as 10 times 3. Bottom, we have 7 times a 5, and right there you have 2 5s that can cancel out. So 10 sevenths times 3 fifths, your final answer is going to be 6 sevenths. Alright, so there's cross-canceling. I think you said you already know how to factor, so I think that's the only thing I need to teach you. I'll just shut off the video and make a second one so you can have time to practice this if you need. I'll make a second one where I explain your actual homework assignments.